Hi guys, it's Katie. I'm back with another food prep. I'm going to be doing some more to help with school lunches and, you know, getting out the door sort of things. I did a back to school food prep a few weeks ago, which I will link down below. I had brainstormed a bunch of ideas, but I just did a few for that video. I'll do a few more for this video, and I think I have enough to do maybe one more video. But these are just things for packing lunches, packing her mid-morning snack that she has at school, and also getting her out the door. So quick breakfast for her and for all of us, and like a quick after-school snack in case she comes home really hungry. Because right when she comes home is usually when I'm starting dinner, and it's helpful if she can help herself to something. So what I'm going to be starting with today is some steel cut oatmeal. So I'm going to get out my Instant Pot, and that's what I'm going to make the steel cut oatmeal in. Alright, so I'm going to do 2 cups of oats. These are steel cut oats, and the directions I saw, it said 4 to 5 cups of water or liquid. I'm going to go to the 5 cups because when I did this before, when you reheat it, it kind of congeals as it cools in the refrigerator. So you kind of have to break it up, add a little bit of water or milk to loosen it up. So I thought I would try to make it a little thinner from the beginning. I'm also going to add some cinnamon, probably about a teaspoon, a little bit of brown sugar, maybe like not even a 1/4 cup. This is going to make a lot. I'm going to see how much this makes. This is something that my son really likes as well. I like it as well, so most probably this much will be eaten up within the next 3 or 4 days. If not, I will put them in the freezer. I've not done that yet, but I've read about it. I'm also going to put in maybe about 1/2 cup of raisins, maybe a little more. A little dash of salt, and I'll go put this in my Instant Pot. Alright, so I'm going to put this in and seal it up. And I just use the rice function here. I think I've never used the porridge function. Oh, that's 20 minutes. That's way too long. I usually do the rice setting. So it cooks for 12 minutes, and then I do a natural release. So after it's done cooking, I just let it sit under pressure for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, I do a quick release of whatever is left as far as pressure, steam, and then it's perfect. So we'll just let that cook in the background, and I'm gonna make some hummus. All right, when I can these beans, I put them in these wide mouth quart jars because I thought it would make it easy. I could just take my immersion blender and make hummus right in the jar. I've not done it yet. We'll see if it works. I'm gonna pop this lid off. And I'm going to drain the liquid, but I want to save it because if I need to loosen up the hummus, I want to use that liquid that's in there. You can also use the liquid from canned chickpeas for all sorts of things. So I'm just going to strain it into this in case I need it. And if this doesn't work in the jar, I'll just put it in another container and just blend it. I used to make my hummus in my food processor, and I really liked it. And then my food processor died, and I never replaced it because I have a really nice blender. I have a Vitamix, but I don't like hummus in the Vitamix. It makes it like too smooth, and so I just use my stick blender. I've also, in a pinch, just mashed up chickpeas with my little muddler thing. And I guess I like more texture than the Vitamix can give. So this was canned with just salt, so I'm going to add some flavorings. Some olive oil, like a tablespoon. Some lemon juice. And some garlic. Essential ingredient, tahini. About a tablespoon. Now we'll see if this works. And I could just mix it up right in the jar and then leave it in the jar and dish it out as I need to use it. We'll see. I'm going to add a little bit of that liquid, then I add a little bit. It's hard to get the right circulation in this jar, so I don't know. It might save you the trouble of washing an extra dish, but it's a little extra trouble to get it blended. I guess you can decide what extra trouble you're willing to go through. Alright. So I think that worked out alright. I'm gonna have to clean the outside of this jar. Maybe with practice it would be a little bit cleaner of a process. But it looks really good. I really like this texture. And I need to taste it for salt. I didn't add any salt because the beans were salted. Tastes okay to me. You can add whatever seasonings you like. It's like some smoked paprika is really good. Or some people put sun-dried tomatoes or pine nuts or cumin. Okay, that's good. That's what it looks like. I think it's perfect. As long as you get all the way to the bottom. Yeah, it looks like all the beans got mashed up. I was just afraid there might be some like hanging out at the bottom that didn't get blended up, but that did a really good job. So that worked out really nicely. I'm really happy with that. All right, there we go. All right, next up, I'm gonna wash up some grapes. I give my daughter the choice of whatever fruit she wants for her lunch every day. And usually we have like bananas and apples and clementines and things that are easy just to grab. So she grabs them and puts them in her lunchbox herself. So I'm just gonna clean up some grapes and pack them up in little cups. So that'd be something that she could also grab and put in her lunch this week. Also, she can grab as an after-school snack. So she has limited access to the refrigerator. I'm trying to give her more and more options that she can help herself to in the refrigerator, but I still want kind of have a control on portion size and like what parts of the refrigerator she's getting into and, you know, things like that. So this is my solution for right now. So I'm just rinsing them really well, and then I'll take them off the stem because I thought it would be fun for her to have them on the stem, that she could pick them off herself, but she really hates it for some reason. So I'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so I'm going to push them out in these little, these are half cup containers. I only have 4 that are clean and available right now, so I'll fill up these 4, and then I can always make more as these get eaten up. So I think that's a good amount of grapes. Grapes are actually a surprisingly small serving size because they have so much sugar. This will be fine. And the rest of these I'll just put in a pint. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some popcorn, and this is kind of an experiment, but she has this mid-morning snack at her desk because she has a later lunch, and since it's at her desk, I just feel like it should be something a little less messy. So I thought popcorn would be a good idea. So I'm going to make just kind of a small batch. She loves popcorn, so this would be a good after-school snack for her as well. But I'm just going to do a small batch. I'm going to pack it up in little containers, and I'm going to see how long it goes before it starts getting stale or, I don't know, chewy or something like that. So I just put a little coconut oil. I don't really measure, but I watched a video years ago from Chef John at Food Wishes, how to pop popcorn on the stove. I had never been able to do it successfully until I watched this video. I'm actually going to use this smaller burner over here. But he has sort of a technique, which I will kind of explain to you, but I'll also link it down below. So what I do is I turn on my stove to about 6 or 7, and I let the oil heat up. And like I said, I don't measure it. I think he gives the measurements, but you want enough that there's an even pull over the entire surface. Oh, there goes my Instant Pot. It just finished. So 10 more minutes and that will be done. So that should be enough time to finish this up and clean up. So as you're heating up the coconut oil, and you want something that has a high smoke point, so I use coconut oil. All right, so as you're heating up your oil, you want to put 3 kernels of popcorn in the oil and put your lid on and let this come up to temperature. And when those 3, they're kind of like the canary in the coal mines, when those 3 pop, then you know that your oil is hot enough and you can move on to the next step. So you want to bring this up to temperature with those 3 in there. And I usually do like about a quarter to a third cup of kernels if I'm making like a big bowl for us all to share. So since I'm just doing a small batch to do this sort of experiment, I'm going to just do half of that, so 2 tablespoons. I'll just set that here so it's ready. Alright, so I think all 3 are popped. I'm just gonna look. You see 3 in there? And so what you do from here is, now that the oil is hot enough to pop popcorn, you put all the popcorn in and you swirl it around to try to get them into a single layer. Put the lid on and you put it off the burner and you let it sit for like 30 seconds so that all the popcorn kernels can equalize to the right temperature of the oil, and then we'll put it back on the heat to actually pop them. Give it another little shake, put it back on the heat, and when it starts popping, you want to shake it every 15 to 30 seconds. And when it starts popping a lot, the moisture from the popcorn will build up. So you can either leave the lid on and just have your popcorn be a little bit wetter, or you can kind of vent it, but you got to be careful because then oil can spill out. So when I first did it, I was like, just leave the lid on, but now I feel a little more confident with it. Just venting it, and you want to vent the back so the steam and the hot oil will shoot out the back if anywhere. But I've had popcorn kernels pop out and then explode on the stove, so just be careful. You can hear it, the oil sizzling in there, but I haven't heard any additional pops just yet. Alright, starting to pop now. Whoop, there goes one. Oh gosh. Alright, and after it's done popping, I leave it on the burner for just like 10 or 15 seconds more. I feel like that drives out a lot more moisture and in the cooked popcorn, and I feel like it makes things crispier. You just gotta be careful you don't scorch your popcorn. Alright, I think that's done. I'm gonna dump it in a bowl. I guess I'll use this. I want to get it out of the pan so it can cool and it won't get soggy. There, see? No old maids. Except for those ones that shot out at me while I was cooking it. Okay. A little salt on. And I'll just let that cool and then we'll pack it up. I'm not supposed to eat popcorn because I have braces, but it's really good. Okay. Let that cool and pack it up. The Instant Pot says that it's been sitting for 11 minutes. So we'll release the last of the steam. I've noticed with rice and with the steel cut oats, a little starchier. Sometimes you will get a little spit come out of the, well, it's not spit obviously, a little bit of water spit out of the vent when you're releasing it. So just be careful. This is hot. All right, that's it. And you gotta give it a stir and just let it sit for 5 minutes or so, and all that extra moisture will kind of soak back in. But this looks pretty good. I'm gonna take it off of keep warm so that it can cool off. Actually, I'm gonna take it out. Let's see if I can. Oh, it smells very cinnamony and delicious. All right, I'm gonna package this up. I'm gonna just use these 8-ounce mason jars, and I think that will be a good amount for her or me, and that way we can have them in the fridge, or these straight-sided mason jars can go right in the freezer too, in case we don't eat all this up. And for these, I'm just storing them in these mason jars. I don't think that it's a good idea to heat it up or eat it out of this, because you need to be able to stir it up so there's no hot spots. All right, so I got 6.5 of these little 1-cup containers, and it just didn't quite make it to 7, but there's 6.5 here. I actually just dumped one in a bowl to see what it looked like, see if it was enough. I think this will be plenty for her or I. And I put a little almond milk. I'm going to actually eat this right now because it smells so good with that cinnamon and the raisins and everything. So I'm going to put lids on these. I wipe the outside so they're nice and clean, and I'll put these lids on. I got these plastic lids, great for storing things, especially in the refrigerator. Easy for my little one to get off, a lot easier than the cheap heart lids. So I have some of those, but I wanted to also tell you that almost all 12 to 16 ounce jars of peanut butter use a lid that fits on mason jars. So that's a cheap way to get some extra lids for mason jars. So these are regular mouth. This would fit on any regular mouth mason jar. So I'll get these all closed up and get these in the fridge. Last thing is to pack up the popcorn. It's cooled off. It'll be fine. I have these little 1-cup containers. I'll just divide this up. Okay, I think that's everything. I know that these weren't really super in-depth, sort of quick things, but hopefully still give you some ideas to prep for the week ahead. I'm gonna go eat this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!